So I used to sell cars for a little bit, for those of you who know me. But yeah, while I was selling cars, there was I remember this lady came in, right? This was a pretty interesting experience for me. This lady comes in. She looks to be, black lady looks to be about 40 years old. She's wearing it's like one of those Victoria's Secret what do you call those? Like a cami or like a tank top, I guess. I don't know exactly what they're called. But she comes in and she comes in with this dude, I guess it's her boyfriend. He looks to be in his late 20s, right? Like mid to late 20s with this woman who's probably in her, late 30s, early 40s, depending on if she was a smoker. It's hard to tell sometimes. But yeah, so I was just a car salesman. So I come out. First thing I do is credit application. I do this. This is pretty frequent, just to get an idea how serious somebody is about buying a car. You always ask them to fill out a credit app. Once they tell you what they're looking for, you convince them it'll streamline the process. So this lady, she comes in. She wants like a Altima SR. So it's supposedly the sportier Altima. They all look like shit, but she sits down. We talk. I find out what she wants. Silver SR with the blacked out wheels and the window tint. Pretty typical, just being honest. But anyway, so I start filling out the credit app for this lady, and I ask her, I was like, okay, well, where do you work? What do you do? She's like, well, I clean houses. I was like, oh, okay, is that like a service? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, how much do you make a week cleaning houses? She's like, like 200, $300. I was like, a week? Yeah, a week. Okay. $300 a week. You know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to put 250. You got pay stubs? She's like, what? Like pay stubs, like the check stub for your job so I can prove your income. She's like, oh, no, honey. No, I don't have that. It's like, oh, so this is like cash and carry? She's like, what's that mean? I was like, people pay you cash? Yeah. You get taxed on it? No. Oh, okay. So I'll just go ahead and put a zero there. Can't use that. Great. You got any other job? No. Oh. So, me, I start trying to figure out a way to politely and quickly escort this lady out of the dealership because it's a fucking Saturday and I'm trying to sell 3 cars. So I can come home with fat stacks and take my girlfriend or something out, whatever. So I'm trying to figure out how to explain to this lady that if she doesn't have any provable income, she can't finance a vehicle. But she's got this boyfriend with her, so I think maybe he's got something to do with it. So I ask her like, oh, well, I mean, was your boyfriend is he gonna co-sign on with you? She's like, she laughs. She actually looks at him, laughs, looks back at me, and she says, no way is he getting on a car note. And so then at this point, I'm floored because she thinks she's getting a car and she's making fun of her 15 years younger than her boyfriend. It's fucking funny, right? But also, retrospectively, it's funny. At the time, I was not very well humored about this. I felt like this lady just came in to waste my time and act like a huge bitch. That's how I felt at the time. I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. So anyway, so I explained to this lady, I was like, well, I mean, to finance a vehicle, they look at your total monthly income, then they subtract 25 or 40% of it to go towards your cost of living. And then that's how they kind of determine what money you have left to buy a car. She's like, yeah, I understand all that. And I think I literally said to her, I don't know if you do. Because to me, I'm very confused. I was like, okay, well, do you have some other form of income or something I can put on here? And at this point, her boyfriend starts rubbing his hands together and licking his lips. Just like the meme, except instead of shiny button-up shirt aesthetic, he's skinny flat brim hat aesthetic. Okay? So, and he's like, oh, you're not even going to be ready for this. The lady says, yeah, I got other additional incomes. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I got, so what you got? She's like, well, I got unemployment. Oh, explains that cash and carry business. Okay, I got you. So you got that. Okay. Got disability. Whoa. How'd you get both? Okay. So what's that? Okay, I'll put that in there. Okay. Well, ma'am, looking at this. Oh, no, we ain't done yet. Oh. So there's even more here. Oh, okay. So now I'm making extra special lines on the credit app because the application's a standard form. When you put it in the computer, it gives you extra lines. So I got to, put a little star, check the back. Child support, got that. Freaking welfare, got that. She had like 2 or 3 child supports, like 3 different child support, and she had all the documentation with her. She had her Social Security, her welfare, her disability, all that stuff. She had all of the provable bank records and court orders for the child support, everything she needed. And I was like, what the hell? This woman had it was like $5,000. It was a minimum of $5,000, not including her cash and carry job, which I guess just gets her out of the house or whatever. And I remember, taking that to my manager. My manager, this particular guy, I won't say his name, but he looks at his keyboard, he shakes his head, he says, "What a piece of shit." What a piece of shit. That's what he thought of this lady. And I don't know, man. I at the time, I can say for certain, at the time, like in that moment, thinking that my manager was right about this lady. It wasn't until later, I had a little bit more time. I got home from work that day. I probably had a beer with my buddies, or I might have smoked or something. I don't know. But I remember thinking back about that lady. I couldn't tell you if it was that night or the next week or even a month later, but I can tell you now, one thing I know is she was cheating within the rules, She didn't make the rules. She didn't make any other rules either about stopping people from taking advantage. But I mean, yeah, sure, you could look at it. Oh yeah, she's taking advantage of the system. See, look how broken the system is. This lady who works 6 hours a week is making more money than most of us, probably anybody who listens to this. Actually, as a matter of fact, do me a favor. If you make more than $5,000 a month, and I'm talking after taxes. I'm not talking pre-taxes. If you are taking home $5,000 a month of spending money, even if you work 70 hours a week, just email me. I'll be happy to know that somebody who's got their shit together is listening to the show. But yeah, I mean, this lady, she's cheating within the rules, taking advantage of the system. All true. But you know who made the system, right? You know who designed the whole thing? The whole thing was designed by guys who built it to be broken so they could take advantage of the system. Those guys aren't just figuring out how to squander together $5,000. No, these guys are that's like per second. These guys are like $500,000 a month. Probably more than that, to the point you can't even imagine the amount of money that these guys are filtering through the broken system. Like Netflix paying pretty much nothing in taxes for their office division that employs like 200 people. Or Amazon, the largest company in the world, worth over $1 trillion, paying actually nothing in taxes, not like next to nothing, not basically nothing, not less than me and you, actually paying $0 in taxes. Those are the things, those are the policy makers, those companies, not this fucking welfare queen. Her vote didn't get a senator into office that made it so she could take this money. No, not at all. So I understand the frustration at the people who think about that welfare lady who did, in fact, get exactly the Ultima she wanted. Actually, no, I want to take that back. I think she couldn't get the Ultima she wanted, so instead we got her a better one, and then put the shit on it that she wanted. If I remember correctly, she actually couldn't get the SR, so we got her the SL and then put the black wheels on it and then custom tinted the windows. If I remember correctly, this lady got it all. And I understand people want, being a little jealous or envious is truly, I think that is actually genuinely the reaction to those hardworking tradesfolks that might have heard this story. I honestly think it's an envy. Like, you wish that you had all that free time. You think if I had that free time, I'd spend more time with my kids, or I'd spend more time going to see my parents, or whatever it is. But she's not the one who made the rules. She took the broken rules that those guys made. And honestly, I got mixed feelings about it. The whole system is flawed, but it was made flawed by those guys up top, not by those people on the bottom. So, I don't know, just something to think about.